Happy January 11th, JLD here, and welcome to MicroStrategy today. In this show, we'll be talking about the $6 billion man, Michael Saylor himself, a prediction of how many Bitcoin MicroStrategy will be holding by the end of Q1. We have an awesome tweet about the history of Punter Jeff, who's probably the second most known face of MicroStrategy behind Michael Saylor himself. So it's cool to see what Punter Jeff was doing a year ago today. I have three epic video clips. One's about inflation. You're not going to want to miss it. This guy gets roasted. I love that. The other one is Michael Saylor's rule number 6 of Bitcoin, and then a long-term view of MicroStrategy when it comes to Chris Millis and his thoughts. Remember, this video is my opinions only. It's not financial advice. And please comment below where you're watching from right now. We're collecting this data. It's going to be great. And let's dive on in. Here we are. This is my MicroStrategy Today Twitter account, which is growing nicely thanks to you. If you're currently watching these videos and not following me on Twitter, I would appreciate a follow on X. I'm definitely posting only MicroStrategy awesomeness every single day. So check me out there, MicroStrategy. The link is right below. The first tweet that I want to get into today is from Matt, and this was the prediction of MicroStrategy. He said, my MSTR will hold 500,000 Bitcoin by the end of Q1 2025. So again, this is a prediction, but this is a guy, Matt. He knows his stuff. He has a great show called MSTR Daily. I listen to it all the time. With $2 billion of perpetual preferred stock issued and another $3 billion of convertible bond offering, and maybe another $1 billion of our favorite accretive equity issuance, the ATM, MSTR can raise $6 billion to buy 54,000 Bitcoin at an average price of $110,000. This would bring their total holdings to 501,445 Bitcoin higher. Now, let's kind of break this down a little bit because I think this is unbelievably reasonable. This is not bullish. To me, this is an actual base case. The $2 billion of perpetual preferred stock, Michael Saylor's already announced this. This is happening. The $3 billion of convertible bond offering, Michael Saylor has already mentioned multiple times that they are ready to switch from being heavy on the ATM to now being heavy on the convertible bonds. These are the most popular and sought after convertible bonds in the markets. I think this $3 billion is actually a low number. I think it's going to be oversubscribed. They still have way more than $10 billion left on their $21 billion plan of Bitcoin of convertible bonds in 3 years that I think they're going to start crushing through here in Q1 of 21-25, even in January of 2025 here. So let's strap in for this one. I think you're going to see a ton of convertible bonds for MicroStrategy, which is going to be a huge benefit to you and to me, the shareholder, because it's going to skyrocket our Bitcoin yield and it's going to skyrocket the value of MicroStrategy. Exciting stuff. And then $1 billion of ATM. Listen, at the end of the day, that's not a huge number from what Michael Saylor's been doing at the end of 2024 during Q4 of 2024, where he issued about 16 billion ATM. So I think, again, this is a base case number. If MicroStrategy, the stock, starts running like you and I hope and expect, then this is going to be a very exciting experience indeed. And this ATM, we won't even really notice it, but we will notice an accretive addition to our Bitcoin value per share. So love this post. Wanted to get into this one because Josh Mann has been posting some pretty cool things about MicroStrategy for a long time. And he wanted us to know that MSTR is a derivative of Bitcoin. As I have stated, the derivatives will lead the spot market more and more. MSTR will lead the rally and draw BTC behind it. I believe we will recapture the 0.004 ratio level MSTR to BTC and likely surpass it this time. It is just possible that the remaining 6 billion of ATM could get gobbled up in a single candle, and Saylor will once again become the 6 billion man, only in the best possible way. I wish this for him and for you and for me as shareholders. Better, stronger, faster, and smarter. So he's just kind of agreeing with Matt's $6 billion base case here and how this, frankly, is going to happen. It's just a matter of when, and probably the sooner the better. Let's dive into this post by MicroStrategy. Bitcoin equals the apex assets. I think most of us can agree with that. I mean, we're in love with MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor and what they're doing in this world as the Bitcoin treasury company because we know and we love and we understand Bitcoin, the apex assets. And the USA is the apex capital market. There's no questioning that. It is the apex capital market. It may not always be the case, but we cannot question that. It is the case for sure right now. And so what is Bitcoin plus the USA? It's MicroStrategy. It is MSTR, my friends. This is a great and very succinct tweet by MicroStrategy. Let's move into Colleen. And she's the individual who is sharing this great research by Punter Jeff, who is one of the key leaders of MSTR True North. In my opinion, he is probably, at least in my world that I'm living in, he is the second most influential person when it comes to MSTR thought and theory, behind Michael Saylor himself. So she said, I did a little digging, search bar, Punter Jeff, and ranking, and stumbled upon something that I think might be worth discussing. Let's rewind 13 months to December 2023. That's just 13 months ago. And we all know how fast a year goes. Back when Punter Jeff started putting out these MSTR ranking posts, or at least the oldest one I found, here's what I discovered. 1, engagement. 13 months ago, Jeff's MSTR ranking post got 376 views, 1 comment, 2 hearts, and 2 reposts. Today, these posts often get 60 to 80,000 views, countless likes, many comments, and several reposts. Curious question for Punter Jeff. Who were those OG likers and reposters back in the day? Anyway, those engagement metrics sure did change in a year, huh? Interesting. 2, market cap growth. December 2023, MSTR market cap was 8.81 billion. Today, it's 80.59 billion, over a 9x increase in just 13 months. Interesting. 3, U.S. stock rankings. December 2023, MSTR ranked 629 of U.S. companies. Today is 119. That's a leap of 510 spots in just slightly over a year. Interesting. 4, Bitcoin holdings. December 2023, MSTR held 174,000 Bitcoin, with all the companies around it on the rankings list holding 0. Today, MSTR holds 447,000. That's an additional 200 and almost 73,000 acquired in just 13 months. No big deal, right? Curious, can anyone confirm how many Bitcoin the other companies near MSTR on the ranking list hold today? Spoiler alert, pretty certain they all contain 0. They have not adopted the Bitcoin strategy and they're paying for it. But wait, what is Jeff trying to tell us with these daily posts? Is there a story here? It seems MSTR rapidly keeps growing in market cap, jumping companies, and adding Bitcoin to his balance sheets. I don't know about you, but me, these metrics paint a pretty compelling picture. Perhaps company growth like this doesn't happen by accident. Maybe there's something more to the story that meets the eye. What do you think? Should we check back again in 13 months? Is Punter Jeff onto something with these MSTR ranking posts, or is it all just interesting? I love this for a lot of reasons, but for me, it's how fast does 1 year go? I mean, we all talk about, man, time flies. It feels like just yesterday it was 2023, 2022, fill in the blanks. In 1 year, I hope you're going to keep watching MicroStrategy today, because I will be putting out a video every single day for you. I will be working hard for you. And we're going to be able to look back and say, do you remember just 1 year ago, just 13 months ago, that we were talking when MSTR was not in the S&P 500, when MSTR had not already done a stock split, had not, gone to the moon. And again, these are all hopes and aspirations that we have. Nothing is certain, but I can't wait for 1 year from now to have a look back like this. And let's end with Stack Hodler. And by end, I just mean end the tweets, because we got some epic videos you're not going to want to miss coming right up. Stack Hodler says Bitcoin rocketed from 26,000 to 73,000 in 5 months. If you weren't in the market, you were completely left behind, and it missed 180% gains. We then spent 8 months grinding sideways with lower highs and lower lows. That hurt. Many feared that we had already peaked at 73K, and we may have had things been different. But that was merely the shakeup before another quick 100,000% took us to over 100K in the blink of an eye. Today, we are once again consolidating sideways, and people have fear we have peaked. No one knows for sure we're going short term, but here's what we do know. Bitcoin adoption is only going in one direction, and so is the amount of fiat that needs to be created to keep the sovereign debt house of cards from collapsing. Finite Bitcoin versus infinite fiat. It isn't rocket science, it's common sense. Remember what you own and enjoy the weekends. Stack, thank you. It's just, for me, these posts that he shares are a zoom out. Yes, we look at the price and we're like, oh my God, MSTR dropped like $6 at the close yesterday. Is that a problem? No, we zoom out and we say there's one way that Bitcoin's going. There's one way that fiat is going. It is being deflated away. Inflation is going to be crazy. We know that. So we know there's one answer, and we know that one answer is Bitcoin is going up, and we know that MSTR is a leverage play on Bitcoin. So we can do the math. All right, we got some great videos coming up. I'm not going to hesitate anymore. Take it away.
There's a lot of people that are nodding with you because we can deflate our way out of some of the step. But the difference between 2% and 3% compounded for the dollar is devastating. And I don't know, for you to just blow it off is a little weird. There's a reason they want 2%. Anyone can move goalposts. If you compound 3%, that's 50% higher than 2%.
Do you know where 2% comes from?
No, but
2%
3%, it would be, would make all of us feel awful in 10 years.
2% comes from the Bank of New Zealand.
Okay.
In the early 90s.
It seems like a good number to me.
But it's an arbitrary number. What you've got to take.
5 is an arbitrary number. If you want to deflate 36 trillion, let's go to 10 then.
I don't want to pull the rug from under U.S. economic exceptionalism. I think we are outpacing the rest of the world.
You're starting to at 3%.
I think we are investing in the economies of tomorrow. In the growth drivers of tomorrow. If we're not
government.
No, the private sector, everything else. If you push this economy into recession...
The private sector is not what causes the inflation.
Joe, if you push this economy into recession, you will not just lose current standard of living, you will lose future standard of living. We are in a very good position.
3% loses the future standard of living. That's the problem.
2.5 to 3 is what I said. You went immediately to 3.
Well, if you say 3 at the high end,
and as long as
okay with it.
As long as inflation expectations are stable, you can navigate.
You better buy some Bitcoin, Mohammed.
You know, sometimes I sit here and I should be happy. But I'm not. And the reason why I'm not happy is because, listen, I'm a very compassionate guy. And I know that we have been gifted with one of the greatest asymmetric risk-reward opportunities humanity's ever seen. And yet, a lot of you somehow, some way, are still going to manage to pick it up. And so I ask, if you're watching this, close the video, get off social media, go out and enjoy life, go and spend time with your friends and family, and come back in 5 years. Better yet, 10 years, better yet, 20 years. Because if you do that, you are going to be ecstatic with how much your MSTR shares are worth. Because the game hasn't even started yet, and the train hasn't even left the station. So again, please, lock in. Now is the time to switch from lettuce hands to diamond hands, because the best is yet to come. Thank you.
Bitcoin will protect you, but Bitcoin won't protect you if you don't wear the armor. You have to suit up. What does that mean? You're going to walk through fire. You're going to go through a molten volcano. Don't armor up 1% of your body. Don't cover 5% of your body. Suit up, buy the Bitcoin, control the Bitcoin. Maybe this means not your keys, not your coin. Maybe this means it doesn't help to tell everybody you know about Bitcoin, but be afraid to buy it. It doesn't help to buy it if you don't control it. It doesn't help, when you put 1% of your assets into Bitcoin and the rest go to zero, and the 1% increases by a factor of 20 or 30 or 100, you'll be saying to yourself, I guess I got something. And then you'll look back and you'll think, I'd be a lot better if 99% of my body hadn't been burned. Maybe I could have suited up more than 1% of my body. Don't leave yourself with an Achilles heel.
Well, there you have it, my friends. Another episode of MicroStrategy today. Make sure you comment below where you're watching from. We're collecting this data. It's going to be an epic share when we get all the data put together. We're going to share it with Michael Saylor and his team as well. Very interesting and exciting stuff. Here is the receipt from my purchase yesterday. I've been stacking every single trading day of 2025. So every day that I possibly can stack MSTR, I'm doing it with another $210 purchase right here amount for a quantity of 0.646 at $325. And to shift over now, because I'm going to do this probably once a week, because I don't want to bore you guys every day with this. But once a week, I'll show you my updated MSTR holdings from this daily DCA. You can see this is every day, January 2nd, 3rd, 6th, 7th, 8th. We didn't have trading on the 9th because of Jimmy Carter, and the 10th. And then this is me purchasing every single day, what I'm purchasing at my cost. And then, of course, the really important numbers, what my total gain is, both percentage-wise and dollar-wise. And so right now, with my dollar cost averaging every single day of 2025, I am at a positive 0.54%. And I will keep stacking every single day. Let me know from my DC gang in the comments, are you stacking every single day? If you want to share a number, share a number. If you don't, just share that you're stacking. As always, this video is my opinion, not financial advice. And remember the wise words of Michael Saylor: there is no second best.
What's the second best? There is no second best.